Hello, Meoni here and welcome back to another video. Today we're looking at new cash shop updates. First of all, then, for today, the 10th of January 2024, we have two things to talk about. First of all, there's a brand new item, which is actually a dual set of glamour. We'll talk about in a moment, called the Leisurewear Attire. And we also have the New Year's sale. On the sale section, you'll see there's a plethora of items related to New Year's that you can purchase for a reduced price. So this is in Great British Pounds, as you can see here, with significant differences in the prices. In US dollars, it might be probably more significant for you. For example, the red hair mount down from $24 to $16.80. The Sunspun Cumulus, the cloud mount, from $12 to $8.40, stuff like that. And obviously there's the prices in euros as well if you are interested in picking any of those up. But if we go back then to Great British Pounds and have a look at the brand new item, this is what we're mostly looking at today. This is the Leisurewear Attire, which is a 5-piece glamour set. As you can see, that consists of a knit cap, the high-cut shirt, the high-cut knit top, and the sweatpants and shoes. So the thing that strikes me immediately is that the shoes are not as significant for my interests, neither are the sweatpants. However, the top is actually quite good looking, at least on this page. So let's purchase this and go look at what it looks like. Just in reference though, this is £15 for essentially 5 items. In US dollars, that works out at $22 US. So a little bit on the pricey side. And in euros, that works out as 17 euros 50 cents. So obviously in Japanese yen, if we want an original translation from this, that's 2,420 yen, just so you know. But yeah, let's go purchase this and have a look at it in the game on a variety of different races. As stated previously then, this is what it looks like when you get it delivered, all of those 5 pieces. All 5 of these are level 1 equipped, of course, and they come with both variants of a high-cut shirt and high-cut knit top with the sweatpants and shoes. Both genders can equip this as well. So let's go and actually have a look at the set and answer a few questions. One thing to note then is, because this is from a cash shop and it's also a glamour, you have 2 ways to store this. Of course, you can go to your armoire and you can store these items individually like this, and they'll show up on a category, which is what I would recommend, because obviously that doesn't use any inventory. But of course, because they are a set, and if you wanted to, you could actually add them to your outfit section by simply clicking the button next to it. Of course, if you want to do that, you will only be able to save 1 variant of them, because obviously there is a difference there and it does consume that knit cap. So my advice to you is to store them obviously in your armoire. Okay, so first of all then we have this high cut top, which obviously is the first combination. You will note quite a few things about this outfit. I absolutely love it. In fact, the sweatpants look a lot better in the game than they do on the website, which is, surprise, surprise, always the case with a lot of things. This top, though, is absolutely fantastic. I love the detail on this. We're just going to do a quick pan around this, and then we'll get into the nitty-gritty. But how good does that look for this top? That is actually quite insane how good that looks. Let's zoom in. So one thing I do like about this, we're going to have to use G-Poser's zoom in features here, is that the texture isn't affecting your necklace. So a lot of necklaces in the game, you very rarely get to see. A lot of things have big busty collars or, eccentric details that will automatically clip off and disable any necklace you're wearing. Whereas in this case, my necklace is very visible and is obviously, not part of this set, which I think is really cool. And I wanted to demonstrate that you can indeed show your neck wear on top of this, because it is a really, really nice top as well. Look at the cuts in there as well. That kind of frayed design You can see your arms through there. It's not some fake transparency or anything. It's actually physically a cut in the fabric, which is pretty cool. They don't really do that very often with sets. In fact, I can't think of many that do that. There's also cuts just underneath the hair, as you can see there, on the back as well. And there's like an undershirt. It's actually very, very nice, isn't it? It's very, very nice. When it comes to the hat then, of course, we have little pokey ear holes for Mikote, which look absolutely fine, in my opinion. We've got a little chocobo chick. And unfortunately, no. Viera and Hrothgar cannot wear this hat. Yes, another outfit comes out, and sadly you guys don't get to wear it. So for whatever reason, you do not have the same ear cut hole treatment that we have. I don't know the reason for this. You let me know. I have absolutely no idea. Anyway, so moving on then, apart from this variant, we'll look at the other variant top in just a second. Those are the sweatpants, nice and up close. We've got Chocobo written on the underwear lining on the back of, front of the underwear. And we've got, I mean, they're just kind of like Nikes or something, aren't they? Or Adidas, running outfit. And the shoes aren't actually that bad. They're kind of big treaded trainers. We've got so many different types of trainers or sports shoe in the game now, be that from the PvP attire or wherever. I don't think we necessarily need to worry too much about these, but they're not bad. They're not bad at all. They're not ugly. They're pretty normal, kind of cool running shoes or climbing shoes or something. But yeah, the real attraction for me is probably the bottoms now. I thought those would be a lot worse, but they're pretty good. And I actually like the top and the hat. So that's a good 3 out of 5 so far. So let's look at the other variant. And then in comparison, this is the high cut knit top. So this is the other variant. Again, both male and female characters. Anybody in the game can wear this one. There are obviously some differences. The main difference is we don't have the huge sections of fabric being cut into on this at all. We just have these nice long sleeves. And we've got a slightly different top front as well, with more of that undershirt, kind of like sports shirt, which is actually really nice. I didn't think I'd like that either. One thing that's kind of less interesting to me is we don't get a cool like cutout pattern detailing on the back. I did think that was quite nice, especially if you're a character with longer, shorter hair rather. But apart from that, it's pretty much the same idea, just slightly flared sleeves. The texture quality is actually beautiful. The other main difference is that it comes with a necklace attached to it. So for those of you who don't have necklaces, then it comes with one. But of course, it's this silver chain here with a chocobo on it. That does mean if you do have a necklace that's visible, it's going to cover it, which could be quite interesting actually, because you'd be able to layer these. Normally this would clip and turn off, but it's not. So my necklace is sort of clipping into this one at the minute and it's not affecting it, which is actually quite an interesting thing. And a lot of people, creative people, will come up with ways to use different necklaces to complement this design and make it look completely different. This is the kind of design direction we want from Square Enix with these sets, where instead of turning things off just because they're clipping, enabling them and allowing people to play with them. But yeah, just imagine that my necklace is not there. We're using this as a demonstration. But yeah, look at the texture quality of this top. You can actually see all the different bits of like the fabric layering. It's quite cool, isn't it? Like the knitted pattern on the white there. I don't know if it comes through on YouTube, but yeah, so that's the two variants of the set. Let's have a little preview on other races quickly. All right, here we are with my Fantasia'd to my male variant of Meoni versus Fran's character, my girlfriend. And you can see the differences between male and female a lot better here. Obviously with Fran's character obviously having more of that chest space for the bust, and the male character obviously having a much flatter variation of that. I believe that's the only real difference though, honestly, between them. Everything else remains pretty much the same, other than the obvious frame of your character and how the fabric fits onto it. But that's the high cut knit top version. And then this is the high cut shirt version, which is the other variant, obviously with the other top. And you'll notice that there's, again, not many details that are different at all. If anything, they're exactly the same. I can't find many differences other than, of course, the allowment for, breasts. But apart from that, yeah, pretty great. A one-to-one thing. So if you were hoping that there was no differences, yeah, there are literally none that I can find apart from the obvious ones that you normally get. All right, then let's look at some other races. Just a couple then, just whilst we've got this Fantasia on, our character Aura looking pretty good then. The horns actually interact quite well with this, as you would imagine, which further rubs a bit of salt in the wound of Viera and Hrothgar. Having Aura horns look this good side by side. Of course, there's no holes being needed to be drilled in the hat, but hopefully we get a quality one day. Speaking of Hrothgar then, the rest of the set then, as we do a bit of a pan around Runar here, my recreation of Runar I made a very long time ago. Yeah, it looks good. Like, it's just a shame about the hat, isn't it? It's always the hat. It's always the hat. And there's the other variant as well, if you're interested. If you play Hrothgar, you might be like, maybe the rest of the set looks good on my character, even though I can't use, one out of the 5 pieces from my set. It is unfortunate, isn't it? Then obviously we got Viera as well, also hatless. Looking pretty good, honestly. It's going to look good on characters. A lot of people probably won't care about the hat. Some of you will, myself included, obviously, just from a standpoint. But some people will just get this because the top looks cool. And it's definitely a style that's going to be acquired taste. Not everyone is going to love this. There's a Lalafell example as well here. But yeah, I actually think this is a really, really nice outfit and has potential to mix and match for all different styles, especially the tops. The tops are the main thing for me personally. So let's look at dyes then. First of all, we're going to look at the first variant, as I'm calling it, with the high cut top and in various different colors. The way this dyes is interesting. Obviously, we've got on the left side, we've got one set of dyes going one direction, starting at Snow White and ending at metallic purple. And then on the other dye palette, so the second palette, we're starting at metallic purple and ending at Snow White, going through all the different colors, and they meet in the middle. I think it looks really good, actually. I think they've nailed exactly what parts I would want to have dyed. I don't think I have too many complaints. The only thing I will say is the boxer briefs, the underwear, they don't really change color from black, but the chocobo writing does, as you can probably see there from the second palette, which is pretty cool, actually. So you've got a little bit of stylization if you wanted to. I can imagine this top going with so many different pieces of gear. I'm just looking at it and going, ooh, that looks good in that color. That'd probably go well with such and such. It'll probably mix quite well with the PvP stuff we just got as well, which is a very similar sort of casual attire style. So here's variant 2s then. That's what that looks like, getting dyes. Yeah, basically the same exact thing. Obviously, we don't have the, the cut sections out of the fabric, and we have non-frilly sleeves, but I think it looks pretty good. I just thought we'd include dye previews of both on my character here and Fran's character. We just went through all of the G-pose and changed all of the dyes, and then G-posed and dyed, and then G-posed again and again and again, as we usually do. So big shout out to Fran for helping me again for today's video. But yeah, I'm actually very, very happy with this outfit, and my mind is racing with potential mixing and matching, and I'm sure you are. I really like pastel pink on this as well. It has a really nice direct color transfer, as well as the metallic dyes. It really does look quite good with this, or at least it does in my personal opinion. But yeah, I think that this is a really nice cash shop item. It would have been nice if it was available in the game, but not everything can always be available in the game. The game still needs to make some money, right? So let's move to our glamour dresser. So let's talk briefly about the armoire then and the glamour plate creation in terms of what would go with this. So both the Leisurewear high cut shirt and high cut knit top basically have the same length of sleeves. They're both long sleeve, just some have the cuts in them and the frayed edges on the end. and some not so. So you'll be interested to know what kind of behavior we get from some hand pieces in the game. I know I certainly was. Obviously, anything elbow length, you're going to have layering on the top there. It affects it like so. So there's not actually some wild clipping with sleeves clipping out of the fabric. If anything, it looks really good with a lot of things. I was actually really surprised how well this went together with different pieces. And because it's a lot thinner of a fabric than a lot of chest pieces that we actually have in the game, it goes a lot better with thinner, long sleeves. For example, these are the augmented torrent arm guards of scouting. There's a tiny bit of clipping here, but for the most part, you can't really tell. These have a real trouble clipping over the top of things. Usually they fit underneath. So if you wanted to, use one of your favorite pieces of armwear without having things look a little bit off, you totally could. For example, here's the Ravel Keepers, half gloves of casting. They look really nice, and of course it shortens the length of the sleeve, and then you've got the tattoo section. A lot of people love this kind of mixing and matching from pieces of gear. Unfortunately, it's not always the case with every piece, but it is really nice to see that we have some good combinations with all of your favorite or not so favorite, but yet to discover pieces of gear. Really happy with this. Very, very happy indeed. Yeah, mixing and matching, definitely going to be the way to go. Overall thoughts then, I actually think this is a massive win. I've really enjoyed looking at these outfits, and I'm glad they came out the way they did. I think they're a great addition to the game. The price of them obviously is something that's going to be a point of contention. Do you think it's worth the money on the cash shop for these? I do like the fact that we get a choice of different top. I think that is a nice inclusion, and the variant is quite nice. I do think, though, it would be nice if we had 2 sets of legs and 2 sets of hats and things, so that if we wanted to, the outfit button wouldn't be completely redundant, but at least we can store it in the armoire now for cash shop items, so that's less bad. Let me know what you think about these outfits then, or outfit with the variant of the top. And I'll see you all next time. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye. I actually really like this. That's cool.